Eddie, before we touch on why we're here in Oaxaca, some big news breaking back home a few hours ago. The rematch is on. Just how happy to land that on DAZN?
Yeah, finally. I mean, firstly, it should have happened soon. That's 2 years ago almost, to the day of April 27th that the first fight took place for the Undisputed Championship. And, you know, normally when a fight is as controversial as it was, it would happen instantly. But it's just really the hatred between the two fighters, the controversy, that kind of pushed it away. And I've seen that so often in boxing over the years. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to simmer down. Everybody wanted to do this fight, and I'm delighted that we could deliver it on DAZN as part of your subscription. You know, I want to thank DAZN, because at the end of the day, when you don't do a fight like this on pay-per-view, it requires a significant fee from the broadcaster. They've paid up the money to make sure that it's not pay-per-view, it's part of your subscription. And I think that's great news for fight fans. You
said there's genuine hatred between the two there. They're sick of the sight of each other already. They're going to be sick of the sight of each other by the time April 27th rolls around. How important are emotions in this fight on fight night?
I want it bad. You know, I want all the emotions in the world. At the end of the day, you know, obviously from our side, Jack Catterall, Matchroom fighter, Josh Taylor's a great fighter, undisputed world champion. But I want the build-up. I want the rivalry. You know, I want the hatred. The narrative is there. We don't need really to retell it. Everybody saw the first fight. Everybody's got their opinion. But for me, when those two come together on Monday in Edinburgh and Tuesday in Manchester, this is what we want, an intense rivalry. And, you know, hatred, yes, but a fierce competition between two great fighters.
The fight lands in Leeds. Is that a case of both fighters feeling like they won the fight, they feel like they shouldn't have to go to the other's backyard?
Yeah, neutral territory is important. You know, from Jack, obviously he's been to Scotland. Josh wasn't mad on going to Manchester. So Leeds, not too far away. It's a fantastic arena. Obviously, we've been there on so many occasions with Josh Warrington. You know, banked there right to the top. The atmosphere is going to be sensational. I think Jack Catterall's already asked me for nearly 4,000 tickets just for his friends and family and community from Chorley, and Josh Taylor will be bringing a lot down from Edinburgh as well. So, you know, it's one for the neutrals, it's one for the Scots, it's one for the English, and it's going to be a fantastic night.
You do obviously endless press conferences all year round. How excited are you for next week? Because that's going to be a big one, it's going to be lively.
You know, it reminds me a little bit of the Hay Bellews, you know, those great British rivalries. It's what you want. It's, you know, Scotland v England's always special, but with what happened last time and with the two personalities, you know, throw in a little bit of Sam Jones, throw in a little bit of, you know, Joe McAnally, throw in a little bit of Nigel Travis, Jamie Moore, me, Top Rank, ESPN, DAZN. You've got the perfect mix there for a massive fight.
In terms of the weight class, there was obviously a lot of talk before about Josh Taylor saying he wanted to go up to 147. What can you tell us about? Yeah,
he was happy to do it at 140. You know, we talked about a catch weight. I think he feels that with enough time, he's more than capable of making 140. Likely, you know, it's a fight that's going to position the winner right there for a world title. You know, you've seen recently with the likes of Ryan Garcia against Gervonta Davis that even without a world title on the line, these fights can sometimes be bigger, and this is a classic case of that. You always want a world title on the line, but this fight, big enough to sell itself.
With all the stuff that's happened in Saudi, I think some British fight fans have asked, when will we see the big fights? How important is it that this fight landed in the UK?
Look, you know, you have to understand that there's a lot of money coming in through the Middle East at the moment to stage big fights. It's great news for fight fans. We're seeing fights that we might not have seen otherwise. But as I've said in many interviews, we have to bring the mega fights to the UK. We have to maintain those big nights. And this is why, amongst all the competition, and you know, I have to be honest, like, this was a fight that everybody wanted to do. You know, Sky on pay-per-view, TNT, obviously DAZN, because it's the kind of fight that you need with everything else going on at the moment. You know, you've got JJ against Ngannou, you've got Fury against Usyk. Let's see some big nights in the UK. Our schedule is very solid, but start sprinkling in nights like this and you're unbeatable. So, you know, we went above and beyond to deliver it, not just for DAZN subscribers, but for British fight fans as well.
Obviously, you talk about the schedule there. We actually already had a show that night penciled in. Jericho O'Quinn, the rematch of Peter McGrail, moves on to that undercard. That just becomes even bigger in itself.
Yeah, I mean, we had a next gen show, which was a small show in Liverpool, but still a good show. And you know, to add Peter McGrail, Jericho O'Quinn, which was one of the knockouts of the year, coming back from 2 knockdowns himself, that's a massive fight. and big plans for that card as well. You know, we've got a lot of our UK and global talent looking to get out around April, and it's great to have another big show to put them on. But certainly a great start with McGraw against Jericho Quinn.
A big week in general for us. Obviously, a few days ago we announced the signing of Subriel Matias. How excited are you to welcome him to the team?
Listen, this kid, you know, as a promoter, when you sign a fighter that you can just put into any fight in the world and be confident that he has the ability, the power, the mindset to beat anyone in the division, Subriel can do it. You know, and I think that this is a guy that has unbelievable power. Pound for pound, one of the most exciting fighters on the planet. He has ice running through his veins. This kid is very special, and we're going to put on something very special for him in a couple of months' time. News of that coming soon. I want him to fight all the big fights at 140 pounds. Obviously, you've got the winner of Haney against Ryan Garcia. Oh man, just give me Teofimo Lopez for Subriel Matias. Please, please, if you're watching this, Teofimo Lopez, please fight Subriel Matias. Oh, it will make me smile. Yeah, so there's a lot of big fun nights ahead for him.
We obviously already had a massive stable at 140 pounds. To add him into the mix is great as well. What were the discussions like in the lead up to signing him? Has he made it clear that he wants the names that you've mentioned?
Yeah, everybody knows how deep we are at 140, but it's okay being deep, but you need the champions. You need the big names as well. So obviously we've worked with Devin Haney and we're involved with the Garcia fight. Now we have another champion at 140. So all of those guys that are coming through, Richardson Hitchens, he's in a final eliminator for Subriel Matias. Liam Paro, he could be a potential opponent for Subriel Matias in May. You've got Dalton Smith fighting Zepeda. He's going to be right up there with the WBC. You know, got other 140 fighters as well that are knocking on the door. So for me, it's great having the contenders, but now we've got the champions as well. And I hope that with all the promoters apparently coming together at the moment, we have got the champion that will give you a fight of the year every time. So as I said about Teofimo, if Top Rank want to come out to play with Subriel Matias, yes please. You know, if Rowley beats Isaac Cruz, oh yes please. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia winner, yes please. I'll put this kid in with anyone, he's special.
Stay tuned for fight news on that. Before you flew out here, you paid Anthony Joshua a visit. What can you tell us about what he's looking like?
Yeah, it's actually the first time I've been down to Ben Davison's gym. Very impressed with the setup. You know, Ben and Lee Wiley do a great job, and he's clicked so well with AJ. He's just in a great place. You know, he's punching so hard. I guess the challenge with Ngannou is still a little bit of the unknown. You know, there was a lot of unknown going into the Fury fight. There's less now, but still, you've got 10 rounds of footage to dissect and break down. And, you know, I believe that he'll do a job on Francis Ngannou whilst also understanding the risk. You know, a big man with incredible power and strength. But I believe AJ will make a statement in Riyadh on March the 8th.
AJ runs quite a closed shop when he's in camp. Not many people are allowed in there. So for you to have the opportunity to see him, how excited is it? Does it make you just to know?
Yeah,
what
I've
he's
seen AJ train for 11 years. I've seen him in every different camp. I've seen him in Sheffield. I've seen him in Essex. I've seen him in Dallas. I've seen him back in Essex. You know, I've seen him everywhere, and he's just a fantastic sponge of knowledge. I don't know anyone that works harder, you know, consistently. Like out of camp, in camp, on holiday. He's just, Ben has to sort of rein him back. I think coming off the Wilding performance, he's hungrier than ever to succeed. So he's driven to perform on March the 8th, and it's a really big night for him.
I guess at the launch presser, there were a few nerves there just when you saw them size up, because Francis Ngannou is just so big, but seeing him in camp, hitting the pads, training with Ben Davison, I guess that just settles the nerves right back down.
Yeah, it's the first time AJ's fought anyone bigger than him in size, in mass. And, you know, that's always, I guess, daunting. Probably not for AJ, but two guys that can turn your lights off like that. And that's what people want to see. It's knockout chaos in Riyadh. And like I said, this fight can be over in a nanosecond. And hopefully it will be our way.
Right, we are here, we are in Oaxaca. We've got it's been a great week. The turnouts to some of the events have been massive. How excited are you to see the rematch?
I mean, firstly, Oaxaca, what a place. You know, did a deal with the government here to bring a major TV event here, and just been stunned by its beauty. This isn't a tourism pitch. This is speaking with truth from the heart. Walking around town today, seeing the response from people at the workout, the weigh-ins. The venue is stunning, and we've got a brilliant main event. With Subriel Matias, first time around, we was expecting a fight of the year. What we got was a knockout of the year. Massive upset as the Mexican wins the world title off, one of our top fighters in Nontshinga, back-to-back fight of the years. Such a nice kid, and a second round knockout was just devastating for him. Said, I need the rematch, prepared to come to Mexico. Curiel now buzzing with excitement. You're going to see a great fight there in the main event, a great fight. And of course, the return of Mauricio Lara, Cartagenas as well on the card, a fantastic Mexican fighter. Some of our younger fighters, Baldazua, and of course, Diego's brother, Federico. It's just a great night of boxing. Stunning venue, packed tomorrow night. And if you get a chance, tune into DAZN, because every Mexican show is a banger, and this is no exception.
The first fight between Curiel and Nontshinga was obviously only 3 months ago. That's still so fresh in the mind of Sivenathi. How does someone, if you were to put yourself in his shoes, how do you get over that? That is so recent.
You get over it because they're not normal. Fighters are not normal people. Anyone would have horrible demons going back in to face someone that's just rendered you unconscious. But this is what they do. And Nontshinga had dreams to unify the division, had dreams to become undisputed, and they all came crashing down in Monaco. Now he comes to the backyard. And last time he was in Mexico, he pulled out one of the stunning performances in a fight of the year. And this kid's tough. But Curiel now will really be full of confidence. He'll be dangerous on Friday night.
Shout out before I let you go to Sugar Nunez as well, who also fights on Friday night, weighed in their fight gear, which is different, but that's going to be gory, isn't it?
Yeah, Sugar Nunez, for me, one of the hardest hitting pound for pound fighters on the planet. If this kid is what we think he is, he will destroy Rakhimov tomorrow night. If he's not, he'll get found out. But I cannot wait. Around 3-4 p.m, I think, local time here, we're all going to be at the bar with a little cold cerveza, watching Sugar Nunez bring it home. Mandatory position for Joe Caldina. It's a huge spot for him, but he's a beast. And I believe he'll knock Rakhimov out tomorrow night.
Eddie Hearn, thank you very much for your time.